We think constantly about the safety of our Social Security numbers and credit card data. But how do we protect our health records? Our health records contain Protected Health Information, or PHI. This information details who we are, where we live, our habits, financial data, and more. What is protected information really? It includes things like the results of your medical tests, a list of medications you're taking, your history of medical diagnoses and conditions, any mental or chemical dependency conditions you might be struggling with. PHI also includes detailed descriptions of you, including your age, your weight, your family history, symptoms you reported to your doctor. It can also include all the next of kin information like your spouse and your children's names or contact information. These are all things that everyone would want to keep private. All this information is only as secure as the people and organizations who handle the records. Would you want your private information shared on social media? Would it be okay if your family and coworkers accessed your PHI without your permission? How would you feel if your health data was stored on a USB disk that was casually dropped out of someone's pocket onto the hospital cafeteria floor? And would you think twice before giving your records to an organization facing an information security breach? Over 1/3 of breaches are caused by human error alone. This means that you have a lot of control over preventing leakages of personal health information. Just as patients have placed their lives into the hands of medical professionals, patients have also entrusted their data into your care. It is your responsibility to protect their privacy. You are their first line of defense. Healthcare information also represents one of the fastest-growing targets for cybercrime. The healthcare industry is affected by billions of dollars in damages due to lost or stolen data each year. Healthcare fraud can happen when criminals steal the identity of patients so that fraudulent medical charges can be rung up in their name. It also frequently involves identity theft, where victims spend years unraveling false charges and fending off collections agencies. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA, was created to help prevent these scenarios. HIPAA is a federal law that requires privacy and security safeguards on patients' protected health information. HIPAA recognizes PHI by these 18 information identifiers: names, addresses, elements of dates other than years, telephone numbers, fax numbers, email addresses, URL or web addresses, IP addresses, Social Security numbers, medical record numbers, biometric identifiers, health plan beneficiary numbers, device identifiers and serial numbers, vehicle identifiers and serial numbers, full-face photos and comparable images, account numbers, certificate and/or license numbers, any other unique identifying numbers, codes, or characteristics. These categories include fingerprints, X-rays, medical images, and financial information. And with the passage of the 2009 HITECH Act, the scope of HIPAA has widened to protect PHI in all electronic formats. By law, you are required to follow HIPAA policies if you work directly with patients, handle their PHI in your job duties, or use devices that store or transmit PHI. The 2003 Omnibus Rule requires that organizations extend HIPAA training and accountability to all business associates, including any third parties handling PHI. If you are a subcontractor, vendor, or volunteer, you are a business associate in the eyes of the law. You are required to complete a business associate agreement, and you must follow HIPAA policies at the same level as your organization's full-time employees. Your organization is required to train its employees and associates on HIPAA compliance on a yearly basis. Included in that training are the security awareness lessons you are receiving in this course, which address the two major federal compliance rules of HIPAA: privacy and security. This course will introduce the requirements of each rule, along with do's and don'ts. We will also discuss breach reporting and consequences for non-compliance with HIPAA. As you work your way through this course, additional lessons will provide further detail on specific information security issues and practices. Now let's get started.